One of the most recognizable names in the civil rights movement is Rosa Parks, the African-American woman from Montgomery, Alabama, who refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus. Segregation was still in full effect in 1955, including on buses, where blacks were required to sit at the back of the bus if there was no room for whites at the front. As a result of her refusal, Parks was immediately taken into custody and put in jail. Because of her actions, Parks inspired many people to take on segregation by refusing to accept it. At the time, a not-so-well-known pastor from Atlanta, Georgia, was in Montgomery as well. Martin Luther King Jr. became the face of civil rights, largely due to Rosa Parks' actions. Due to what happened to Parks, King organized the bus boycott that lasted a year.
Citizens of Montgomery engaged in a nonviolent protest against injustices and indignities experienced on city buses.
The ultimate goal was to desegregate the buses. This action financially impacted the bus companies, as the number of people riding the buses significantly dropped. By this time, the civil rights movement officially started and was in full swing. Today, at the Martin Luther King Museum in Alabama, a statue of Gandhi is located in the front. This is due to the fact that King followed Gandhi's preaching of nonviolent protests.
We go back to the buses, let us be loving enough to turn an enemy into a friend.
The civil rights movement continued into 1957 in a city known as Little Rock, Arkansas, the location of the first school in a large city to attempt to integrate. 9 black students were selected to enroll into Little Rock Central High School. The process to select these students was focused on 2 important factors. First were their academic standings. The goal was to show that blacks could handle the rigor of white schools and were intellectually equal. If the students could not academically handle the integration, it would create a major setback in proving schools should integrate. The second factor was their emotional standing. Everyone involved knew the harassment the students would endure and wanted to make sure these teenagers would be able to handle being called names, having things thrown at them, and especially be able to handle being separated from each other so they would be vulnerable and without the support of each other. As the students were preparing to go to school, Arkansas Governor Orval Faubus refused to integrate the school. To ensure the Little Rock 9 could not enter the school, Faubus ordered the National Guard to block their entrance. After a couple of weeks, President Eisenhower stepped in and sent the 101st Airborne Division to escort the students to the school. The students were finally able to enter the school after being met with massive crowds protesting their entry. The students endured physical and emotional abuse from both staff and students. In the end, not all of the Little Rock 9 graduated from the school, but their influence helped pave the way for integration of schools in the United States.